Welcome to this transmission that my guides presented to me to be offered with the name of "The Formula is Not Fixed." So when I was typing the name of this, I was like, what's going on here? And it kind of does make sense to me. But over the journey of this time that we're going to share together, it should hopefully make a little bit more sense. So if you want me to scan your energetic field, just say yes. And then if you just want to observe, just observe. There's no pressure about any of this. But what some of you might be familiar with the formula that is offered by Bashar. And some of you already are familiar with this directive energy that shows you and leads you with your highest excitement. This is really important energy. It's also an energy that's fluid. So the formula is fluid. The formula it's 12:22 right now. What I'm being shown is we need to understand that this highest excitement, our passion, our highest self, is fluid. It can change. It's adaptable. It's always moving. And it's spirit. So they're also showing me the superconscious. So imagine with me, zoom with me, take a moment with me to consider this state of consciousness called the superconscious. Just take a moment. If you're not driving or operating machinery and you can hang out with someone that's going to guide you through some energy. Not through a story, but energy. A lot of you are really used to people guiding you via story. Start entertaining the option of being guided by energy instead. So some energy is definitely coming through and transmitting to all of you. And to me. And so when you consider your highest excitement, the expression of you, the embodiment of you, the version of you that is lit up, that's feeling like sunshine and eminence. Now I want you to tune into that version of you that you just tuned into. Your ego's got a lot of programs as to why that version of you isn't welcome. So scan your ego. What is your ego saying about the most in excitement day to day, every day? The version of you that is literally waking up, excited for the day, is in presence all day, is being guided by the subtle intuitive nudges that show up in radically different radically different ways day to day. A lot of your ego is telling you some things right now. You'll go broke. That's not a way of life. That's only for the select few. That's not for you. Your ego is saying some things. So instead of just going, ego, shut up, and pretend like the ego doesn't exist, What I would like to invite you to the option of is listening to those parts of you and having a dialogue. Actually heal it. Because what they're showing me is a lot of you have these very limiting inner voices that you're really good at shoving away. But if it's the same limiting inner voices that keep showing up in your daily reality, whether subtly or not so subtly, it's going to repeat until a new energy is introduced. So it's going to repeat until suddenly you go, hey, limiter, you sure about that? Are you sure? Where did you learn that? Where did you hear that before? Does someone you love and respect hold that belief? Ask. Because what they're showing me is subtle shifts in the way we're navigating our healing path on planet Earth. No more is the burying. No more is the running away. No more is the escapism. To live with presence is to live with honesty and clarity. Let's get some cards! Because this is a lot of energy channeling through. And if you're not already on a healing journey, this may start one for you. If you don't already consider yourself to be awakened, that may change for you after we spend some time together right now. Because I'm exposing you to a mirror. And this mirror I'm exposing you to is your higher self. And this mirror I'm exposing you to, you've wanted to deny for a very long time. And this mirror is going to be held up to you in a way that says you can't look away. It's time to look. We've got a full moon. We're super supported energetically to release. We're super energetically supported to align. We're super energetically supported to see. The full moon casts light. So that's why you'll notice in a full moon cycle, at the new moon, you're void space, you're fertile. And then the light will build, showing you what you've hid from yourself. That's why full moons can, if you really get intentional with how do I feel day to day, and what's my embodiment like, and am I being authentic, and am I allowing my highest excitement to embody, you can use these new moon cycles so that you start the new moon planting the seeds you want to plant. Seven, 9, 7, 8, 9. So let's see what we're working with. So we got the gold and silver violet flame dragon, transmutes the old around you with wisdom and grace. So just maybe subtly notice around your energetic field all of this energy that's transmuting to wisdom and grace. It's time for transmutation, magic, and healing. Offer service under grace. So right now I'm showing up and I'm doing this. I was not planning on going live today, and Spirit tapped me and said, yes, you are. And when it's from the higher self, this is what I'll share, because a lot of people have been asking me about higher self lately, so this feels important. Excitements born of the higher self will sustain and find you. Excitements born of the ego will die out quick. So let that be a little acknowledgement of thank you to this being a human, this ego structure, anything that's permeated by the ego. So let's just pretend in this, this isn't the ego, but we're going to pretend, okay, in this session. Let's pretend that this ego is like a structure that sits outside you. It's kind of like more like aligned with the aura is what we're talking about. But you're programming that all the time. Like you're telling that what it's going to be. You can program it. It doesn't have to be this thing that just is this irritation. But the parts of it that are irritation or frustration or seemingly repetitive anger, repetitive fear, repetitive grief, repetitive guilt, repetitive shame, whatever this is for you, the repetitive thing, that's coming from the ego structure. That's why when we can listen to it and have a conversation with it, we can alchemize it, we can heal it. It doesn't have to be this hindrance. It can be this thing that we learn from. It's an aspect of you. So they're kind of wanting to soften, because a lot of you have already understood and identified that limiting beliefs. You know the concept. You're working on it within yourself. They want you to soften around those limiting beliefs when you identify them. I'm still working on this part within myself, but sometimes when I hear a limiter come into my mind, I'm kind of like, aw, that is so cute. Aw. And I kind of turn it into a puppy dog. It's a part of me. It's a part of me that's active. How can I purify, harmonize my relationship with this part of me that's active? Yes, and it's vibration and frequency. So there are lower selves of you. That is the truth of it. There are definitely higher and lower selves of us. It's best we make peace with that and stop denying our shadow. So it's best we make peace with that all is one and there is no hierarchy. But we're best served by when we meet our lower selves or the thought streams of our lower selves. It's best we not to relate to it in a way that is black or white. We can't relate to these things that are coming through our thoughts as it's such a paradox right here, because one of the things we do in the beginning when we're healing is realizing that our thoughts are not us. It's a thought stream. We can observe it. We can go ticker tape on it, observe it. But we're not served by saying, I hate this part of me. I want to cut out this part of me. I hate this thought. I don't want to keep having this thought, because you're creating more resistance. And you're creating a dynamic where subtly over time, those parts of you that we can call lower or darker or however we want to say this, more limited, less conscious, we're not served by labeling them, kicking them out of the field, because we have to integrate. And I would say when it comes to panic attacks, I first need to say everything I'm sharing is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just an entertainer. And I also need to say I'm not a doctor and I'm not a psychologist. I'm a trained energy healer. I'm a certified energy healer. I'm a trained EME integration coach. Energy, mind, emotion, integration coach. So what I can tell you about panic attacks is it's not about curing them. It's about loving yourself through them. Because a panic attack, and I used to be a sufferer of these, it's driven by your holding on to this thought stream that is active. So this thought stream of, usually it's a doom and gloom thought stream. Usually it's a really strong belief in that you are unlovable or unworthy, if we're going to get right down to it. But if you can become available to that your breath is spirit when one of these events is active, and you can simply observe your breath in, your breath out. You can go to the body, maybe some tapping, maybe some hugging yourself, telling yourself you're safe, you're going to get through this, you've been through this before. Breathe. 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 Maybe give yourself some little pats. You can also go into EFT. With that in particular, that's definitely what you're talking about in the comments, is something that I would need to address with you one-to-one, just to be forthright. Because you're talking about reprogramming the deep unconscious, the deep subconscious. We can have events in birth. I mean, we can have events in our mother's womb that affect us for life, that create, if you've got any irrational fears, or if you've got this repeating pattern that has been following you your whole life, and it's not an ancestral wound, it's typically from the womb. That's what I was flagging with the comment situation. But EFT, someone asked about EFT. EFT is emotional freedom technique. So you're going to be tapping on acupuncture points on your body. This is something I walk my kids through. They don't follow it very well, but it's been very useful for many of my clients, where if you're feeling like panic attack, if you're feeling like you've been trying to work with the self-doubt or whatever is coming up, that it's like a yucky feeling, it's like a negative, it's like keeping you stuck or whatever, EFT is a great process to do. Typically you're going to want to talk through whatever you're dealing with. So sometimes I would do this. I'm trying to come back. I don't really use this tool very much anymore, to be candid. But there was a few times where I really used it where it was powerful. So I'm trying to dig back to those times. So for example, my young children, when they would like start spatting, and I was, I had a heavy week of sessions. I was dealing with my own stuff. I wasn't really available to show up to the argument or whatever was going on. I would just go in another room and do EFT, and I'd rebalance, walk back out, gravy, feeling good. But these are the places you tap. So it's the side of, it's called the karate chop point. But this is a great process to do when you're doing your inner work and you're feeling blocked and whatever. Just start tapping. Okay, I'm feeling a little blocked. I'm feeling stuck. I felt this way before. And you just keep tapping. I'm not stuck right now, so I'm not going to come up with a dialogue for you all, but I'll show you the places to tap. And then the third eye point. You can use one hand or both. It's really just intuitive. Please let it be intuitive, but these are just the places that you tap next time you feel stuck in any way, or like you need to rewire your energy field because something's clogged up. And then you part the chin, the like higher heart thymus area, or like right under the collarbones, and then the side, which is like where a lady's bra strap would hit, but for men, just I don't know, like 5 fingers down. And then you just keep repeating that tapping cycle until you'll feel when you need to stop. I mean, you'll feel when your energy feels like, okay. You'll feel like there's more breathing room, and you'll feel kind of like realigned. It's just a quick way to... So what they're showing me is like when we be in public doing it right now, we need to also thank you for serving the world, Planet Rock, because we also need to normalize these things. I catch myself sometimes, like I do a lot of tapping work, a lot of stuff like that. Whenever I'm out and about, it used to really embarrass me. I'm warming up to it, and I really think that it's helpful if we can all just start to accept each other as we are. And it's also really helpful that we I'm here to load some tools for you. I'm here to load some tools. Definitely don't show up to these sessions while driving. In fact, please don't. I don't care if I lose like every follower ever. Don't show up to these things driving. No driving or operating machinery if you really want to get impact from this. Yes, Heather, happy Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day to all. I don't think I can talk about this stuff with you anymore, Fart. We're getting into the danger zone with your questions. Let's see. Let's get back to the light codes that wanted to come through, okay? So the formula... We have cards. We have cards that wanted to reveal. Okay. Silver Dragon. Full Moon, Silver Dragon. What romance we have here. Got some loud noises, some loud background noises. Illuminates your potential with higher light. Access untapped resources. Feels really important. For some of you, access untapped resources. So just let your consciousness reveal to you all those untapped resources that are coming up right now, because there's tons of them, and you all know what they are. Look into your soul and see higher possibilities. I'm going to let this express a little unwordedly. So this morning, something that came up in session that feels important to ripple out here is if you have a service model in any type of way, if you're just literally doing anything that is with the intention to make the world a better place, it's time that you present your consciousness with how you can amplify it and spread it more quickly. So maybe you have a one-to-one type of modality, or maybe you're just providing service with a friend when you guys go out to a meal or something. Propose yourself the option of when you're ready. What if you were to do that in more of a group way? I also wanted to share practically that showing up live to anything, pretty much, for, I don't know, all of my life. Yeah, really like all of my life. Up until I started doing these lives here, was like a terrifying thing to me. And I didn't even consider doing something like this. Didn't even consider it. It wasn't an option to me. I thought my modality is one-to-one. My modality is one-to-one. This is how it works. And then Spirit dropped an inspiration of, what if it didn't have to only work like that? What if you could bring your service model to a group and be able to serve more at once? So Heather, you're hesitant to jump into it. What if you just do it? That's my challenge to you, Heather. Try it. No expectations, all fun. When you're feeling fun and you're feeling like the way that you feel when you're feeling the most, let's go to the event. I'm ready for the event. Just show up, have some fun with it. See what happens. I seem comfortable in front of the camera. And I am comfortable in front of the camera now, but even a year ago, this would have been something that I would have like lost sleep over. And I would have been really freaked out about, just to be real. And I only share this because I want to show you that just on the other end of your limiting belief or an inner doubt is you just doing it and finding that it's not anything to be afraid of. And if you find that you're sheltering yourself, what are you avoiding? It's time to look, I guess, a little bit at what you're avoiding so that you can understand why you're avoiding it. You can understand what it is you're afraid of. So just to be blunt and upfront I had a lot of self-judgment to work through. I had a lot of fear of public speaking, a lot of fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of my family rejecting me. Listen, I've had all those fears come to fruition and they weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. They just weren't. Will potentially like trolls show up and start yelling at you in the comments? Like, it's potential, but you know who you are. It's not going to shake you. You'll do the same thing I did, which was learn, okay, well, here's a party I have to block. Here is someone I have to say, you're distracting the group, too. But you'll navigate it. And you'll be surprised by yourself each time you do it. I still, after like a year of doing these, still find days where I'm like, what just came through? What was that? And I'm also just being shown a part of like why I was meant to sit here today is to uncap your inspirations, is to let those valves open and flow again, is to give yourself permission slips and invitations to just try it. I know in I don't know, the spiritual community and the quantum shifting community, they say don't use words like try, but if that's going to get your ego to be on board and show up, say try. Like, say fake it till you make it if you must. If that's going to make your ego settle to the point where you'll show up, sure, like say those things. But the truth is you'd be showing up to these things because they're your highest excitement. And that's why I invite you to public speaking too. This is so funny, Planet Rack, that you said that. I was so fearful of public speaking. It turns out I wasn't. I was fear of public unauthentically speaking. I was really afraid of showing up at I went to business school and I had to do lots of things in front of everybody. And I was like, I hate this stuff. I hate this finance stuff. I hate this marketing stuff. Oh, manipulating people to buy my product? No, thank you. I did not like standing in front of an audience and talking about things that didn't resonate with me. They didn't resonate with me. That's why it was scary. That's why you've been scared to step in front of people and speak your truth. For some of you. Some of you it's fear of judgment. Some of you it's fear of rejection. But if you're showing up and you're offering something that is authentic and from your heart, you won't care if there's rejection. You won't care if there's judgment. And if it does show up, it's just going to strengthen your own love of self and trust of self that I just navigated that. I just had an audience watch me navigate that troll in the comments, and I navigated it. I'm all right. I'm good. It's not so bad. It feels like, too, like that's what Spirit wanted me to show up and present for you all, is that those things that this is the areas of your life that are you're afraid of and you're excited about. There's definitely both. So I'm not telling you to focus on the areas that like you're terrified of and then say like, go do those things. There has to be excitement there too. So this is definitely the things that you are excited about, but you're so excited that there's definitely fear there too, because there's attachment. So yeah, it's a push-pull vibe. And I can share very openly and honestly, just from me, not from my guides, that when you show up to those things that are exciting and fearful at the same time, you will become more empowered. You will become more empowered. Each and every time you'll become more and more and more empowered. And you'll get more and more comfortable with it, and you'll want to branch it out. You'll want to use it to assist the world. And I'm seeing a lot of people, a lot of you here in front of microphones. So on like stages. So, and I have been doing higher self portal sessions today. So I'm kind of like lingering more in that higher self zone, if you know what I'm saying. Where it's like everything is possible. Oh, that's just potentiality. Oh, that there? That's just potentiality. Okay. All right. It's kind of like I've got a version of myself. I don't know why I'm sharing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I have definitely like a mantis version of myself, or like a spirit guide, whatever you want to call this, whatever you play with your own belief systems. But it's like a mantis version of me that's very just like, it's not very much effort. It's just like, okay. And it's very wise, and it just knows where to go and knows like where to carefully, like it's almost sloth like in that it's very just thoughtful and slow and loving and just gentle. It's like very just this goes here. This goes here. My goal is to do energy healing videos by June. I'm talking well in my mantis embodiment. Thank you for experiencing it. You just helped me come out with that. Thank you, Joshua. And let me just share also that like energy healing comes through, we learn, when we're learning energy healing, we're learning all these modalities like chakra healing, quantum healing, subconscious work, hypnosis, meditation. And we're learning all these modalities. But the truth is, real energy healing is going to show up and it shows up to meet the needs of what is needed. It meets what I love about energy healing is that it meets you where you are. So I'm not showing up with anything that I've pre-written. I'm showing up to the energy field. And then the energy field is guiding everything from there. But we need to, as the practitioners, as the space holders of that, get really adept at trusting ourselves. And intuition is subtle. Intuition is showing up to a session, not knowing about anything about a person, and allowing whatever the spirit messages are that drop through. And having no idea what that's going to be, no limit on it, but trusting however it's coming through. Even when you have a client or someone that's sitting in front of you that you don't even know if any of it's landing. You have no idea, but you're trusting. I'm not sure who I'm coaching on energy healing here, but that's definitely what was happening. Words limit the space of the soul's ability to communicate. Yes, and Atomic Josh. My guides really walked me down a pathway a couple years ago because I've had the same thing. I was like, well, I have no words. This is so dumb. I don't want to sit down with people. I have no words. This is dumb. And I was really irritated with words. And I was also really stuck on my book. I was like, there was nothing else was coming through on my book. And they showed me it was because there was like a part of me that was just really annoyed with like the whole human thing. But the truth is having communication with language and dialogue is very useful. That's what my guides are showing me and want us to know. Yeah, the Mod Father, can I just tell you, that's like almost always the people that you serve the most. The ones that you have no idea like you just have no idea, like did they even get anything out of that? Those are the same people that are going to contact you in like a month and they're going to tell you their life has changed. And it's because we shake the people, like sometimes those people that we're serving, we're going to serve them almost in the way of triggering. We're going to show them all this stuff that was going on in their subconscious that they denied, and it's going to be almost irritating to them. But that's the magic sauce. That's the point. That's like the really important part of the chrysalis. when it turns into goo. It's like, all right, I won't hold on to any of my old caterpillar wants. And then the magic happens. The service and work of energy healing is very important because you are helping people find their deepest masks. Their deepest masks. They don't want to see those masks. They don't want to. But when they can see them, they can do something about them and shift them. It's the masks that we bury, those identity attachments that we bury that we're not even aware of, that become the biggest hindrances in our life. It's called counter manifesting. That's the name. Okay. And that's the other thing too, when you're a healer, you're doing any kind of, I don't even like that word healer, but if you're sure, why can't I say serve? If you're serving in a way that's connective, you're going to transform your ego like again and again and again and again. And welcome to the rest of your life being in a rebirth process. It's very beautiful. We're like constantly going caterpillar, chrysalis, butterfly, caterpillar, chrysalis, butterfly, caterpillar, and we're honoring it. Because you know that when you're tuning into goo, it's like, oh, well, when this is all done, I can fly. And I definitely couldn't fly before. And it was I can go fly and see everything above that I couldn't see when I was just down here. And that's the thing. So that's why it is like darkest before the dawn. And, you know, we hear all these things, but it's the truth. If we can go back into that soil, we're going to emerge renewed and back to ourselves, letting go of what is not us. Okay, I think that's it for today. But this will be loaded in my energy healing membership. I really encourage you all over there. It's $11 a month. I show up and do these on TikTok. Like, it used to be once a week. Now it's just whenever I get the spirit nudge. And so just having that membership is a way that I feel good about offering my service model. I also am not a schedule person, just like on the real. I don't like it. I have an inner rebel that really doesn't jive with that. And I'm very intuitive and in flow. And some days I just want to be with the trees. And I think that's all right. I don't think that makes me a bad person whatsoever. Wow. I just did some healing out loud. Here. Thank you. Thank you for that space. Holding. What platform? It's on Kajabi, my courses and memberships. I really like that platform, personally. I tried Thinkific. I just didn't resonate with it. Probably because I'm constantly retraining my thoughts. All right, everyone, have a beautiful, beautiful day. Please be sure to hydrate. And the energy healing membership, too, remember you can try for a week free. So you can sample some of it out. I'm just a conduiting my higher self and access to the Akashic records for the service of all. Everybody have a beautiful day. A butterfly in the yard. I love it. Namaste.